All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to this first week of preseason here in VRML Echo Arena. Tonight we're starting off with a bang with an explosive match between Team Gravity and Blast, and then we'll be sticking with Gravity as they go on to face Toxic units on stream immediately after. On the broadcasting booth tonight, I'm Palidore doing the cameras and the casting with my partner in Voiceology, TutorialBot. Tell me what we can look forward to today, my friend.
Well, basically, we've got Team Gravity and we have Blast. Both of these teams are giants in EU. I think they're very keen to get started, so we're definitely going to do that any second. But basically, these combinations are still very new, despite the fact that Team Gravity is well established and Blast as well. The actual combinations on each side is very new. So it's very hard to say at this stage which one of these teams is especially the better team, and I don't think one game could even assess that either. But it will be an interesting game, I can absolutely assure you.
Well, and I'm looking forward to it, so that said, getting ready here to go as teams ready up. So first joust is going to be underway and taken there by Maddie. Maddie's going to back it out to Finn. Finn back at the goal and just waving it around, looking for an opportune time.
I think she's just she's kind of just directing a team right now, trying to get them to push up. She's got no pressure on herself, so she's trying to make sure that she's got someone to pass to. She sees a couple of dangerous stacks, and that makes it very apprehensive to make the pass. The pass wasn't exactly to where Boop needed it, though, but it will be to where Matty needs it, but dings it just outside of the goal. That could have been a nice early 3, but the setup is still happening. Back pass down to Finity now, and they're going to start again. And as Finity's, once again, she's trying to draw someone in before she makes that attack. Backboard shot again, and another attempt by Matty. This one not working out either. The disc will be free at the moment for Team Gravity as Al Pacino goes for something special, but it doesn't look like it's going to pay off quite yet.
Not quite. Now grabbing the disc is going to be Boop. Boop, we just saw him a couple days ago in that show match. And oh, a steal, Al Pacino! There's a 3-point shot to start it off for Team Gravity.
Not sure where that came from. That surprised me as much as it looked like it surprised Boop there. I think there was a moment of hesitation where he looked for someone, and I don't think he saw Al Pacino just come in there and sneak it past.
And sneak it past he did, so now Blast finding themselves the victims of the first goal. Boop is going to take that disc in that side tunnel with the stack looming nearby. Getting there quick, but open goal. Oh, but losing the disc. It's going to float loose there. Maddie's going to recover and try and slap it towards that goal area. It's going to be taken now and slapped in for the 2.
I think what happened there is Finity actually put her hand back, ready to take the shot. It might have been open for a 3. I think she actually hit Matty's head, which is unfortunate. But it doesn't matter because they continue to build up, and in the end, they end up getting the 2-pointer anyway.
That they did. So a joust advantage now. Team Gravity really quickly on that. And going to the left tunnel, it's Lewis sending it to Simon. We saw Simon and Lewis as well in that show match. And their stack was undoubtedly the fastest one in that one. And now the clear goes in and out from Boop. Another stack coming through. It's going to be overshot because of that barrier bounce. Boop is still going to be there for that initial recovery. Boop going to look up high. Over to Finn. Finn's getting stunned by Viatrex. Viatrex finds that tunnel clear as a boost comes out now from both these teams, but looks like Blast with the better one.
Finity now building up for, obviously, Blast as she's going to try and start the attack again. Boop's considering his options. He's been favoring the low bounce pass right now, and like you saw there, even if it's not going in, it's in a dangerous place regardless. And it does look like the disc is now going to be in the hands of Team Gravity, and Lewis and Simon are going to hopefully try and get their stack, but they're flying solo amongst each other right now, which is kind of bizarre for them because, like I said, they magnetically find each other in these games normally. It's very rare to see them doing it that way, but the disc is now free in the half of Team Gravity, but it will be Boop with an open shot, just not making it, almost there. Another follow-up by Gecko. That one's not going to work out quite either, but they are on the attack still.
Now on attack again, going to back it out real quickly to recollect after those 2 missed shots. Gecko trying to bother the goalies just briefly, but now leaving out. The pass not being looked for, so it's going to float into that side wall. Finn is there, but a stack from Lewis coming in quick off the boost. So now Simon with a tunnel potential, and it is good. Oh man, and he does the dab. Ugh.
An amazing shot And a tremendously cringy finish from him with the spinning dab.
Oh, boy.
Simon pulls away a 40-meter shot, 18 meters a second from the tunnel to put them up 6-2.
Gotta love it.
Team Gravity.
Oh, that was Joker-esque with the dabs. Anyways, Maddie looking to shoot that, does not convert. Taken there by Boop. Boop looking down low. It's going to float off into that tunnel. Taken there by Al Pacino. Al Pacino gets the clear into the sidewall. Now, Simon looking for that tunnel clear. More fast stacks coming out from both teams. You can just see the speed. Always been such a strength of the European side, especially. And now,
Disc 3 right now, just floating around. I think that's going to be a clear back into the half of Blast, and they're going to build their attack up again. Matty looking for his pass right now. We're down to Gecko, who's got himself a lot of space to maneuver, a lot of space to think, and he's going to do exactly that and safely find Matty, who's going to build up back down to Gecko. And now they're just going to try and sort of gently, pass by pass, push past this defense from Team Gravity. Team Gravity, very good at their defending, very aggressive, making sure that they always mark one guy and they know who the priorities are. You know, they have left Finn at the top right. They're two punched out, and that will be an easy 2-pointer for Finn, as I believe it was Gecko snuck behind the goal and smacked out, 50% of the team for them.
yeah, a lot of brawling going off for certain. Maddie has 11 stuns over on Blast, and high with 8 is Lewis. Viatrex now looking for that pass over to Lewis, who does find Simon. His partner in crime. Simon's going to back that out to Viatrex. Now Viatrex looking down low, takes a bit of a bad bounce. So now Maddie's going to intercept, try and clear, but also some rough bounces, keeping that disc staying in mid. And now looking down low for Simon. Looks like will be taken down by Boop. Gecko is at the goal, so if you want to go for a back pass, the option is available. Looks like instead they'll opt for a clear. Now Boop and Gecko are going to go for that stack, as well as Viatrex and Al Pacino. At the goal, trying to bother the goalie now, and shot. Oh, but just off the mark. Looks like it's going to be retaken there by Maddie, going barrier. Nice pass, nice recognition, nice shot. And there you go, 6 apiece. Team Gravity and Blast.
Good finish. I'm seeing a lot more shot attempts, a lot more open goal attempts from Blast right now. Matty actually missed at least 2 open threes at the moment. So I'm seeing a lot. If everything had gone that way, I think this game would probably be a little bit more in favor of Blast than it is right now. But at the moment, it's actually, it's 6-6. It's very close. And look at that aggression from Blast there. And Boop dinging it again. Unfortunately, it was not going to be converted. Al Pacino in goal there to deny that second attempt. And it will be Simon going for the special shot again. Does he get it? He does. Is he going to dab this time? Hopefully not. But
Hopefully
he did
not.
get his second tunnel shot.
That he did. So, interesting series of events there to take the 3-point lead. Those bounces coming in as the PE Jousts line up. So Finn will quarterback it for Blast, but getting stunned is Gecko. So Simon on the clear, gonna take a bounce upwards towards that top ramp now. And now Lewis coming through with the grab as Viatrex gets a stun. Pass to Simon, Simon having it stolen by Finn, great hands. Finn looking for a clear down the tunnel, and she will get that. Boost quickly coming through now. They get there first, open goal, fader, and it is good from Maddie.
There we go. That is the Matty shooting that I know. That the ones he did miss were actually quite easy for him, but that one is not so hard, not so easy, and he pulled it off fantastically. So now we're neck and neck again, 9-9.
9-9 with 2:42 left in this one. Disc is going to float on into that corner pocket there and taken, passed on over to Al Pacino. Al Pacino looking. But Boop finds that disc now. Boop is going to find the clear as well, perhaps. Now it's going to be contested, so instead, taking that intercept, it's going to float on back. And the own goal. Was it?
That is unfortunate. Whenever I see a self-goal with a disc floating back, we do assume it's Viatrex just because of the reputation of that. But at this time, I think it was Lewis. I think he was punched out as he was maneuvering, and that is unfortunate. And hopefully for them, they are going to be able to get 3 more on the board, or they're going to feel a little bit unfair about.
Yeah, I couldn't decide whether it was just a miscue on a back pass or indeed a case of being punched out and just a disc flying in a very unfortunate direction. So, well, it looks like it'll be on offense now. Down by 3 points is Team Gravity. Al Pacino taking that disc and going up to Bowtie, finding a pass over to the side wall to Simon. On the approach is Vitrax looking across and in, absolutely, for Lewis.
Nice pass from Vitrax there and a nice finish as well. Vitrax's setups in this game are actually incredible. He's always been able to do that. He had a particularly good synergy with Affenterra, passing around that goal, making it so hard for the goalkeeper to react in time.
And so trying to react quickly with that bounce, but in the goal there will be someone there for Team Gravity, and Simon's going to be the one to recover that one and send it into the left area. Now, actually, it will be through, bouncing back towards mid, taken there by Simon. Simon's going to look up high, going into that 2-point zone. These strikers for Simon, Team Gravity, striking that one down.
They managed to just find that window there and just get there first and take the shot immediately, which just put them up 1 point. And again, once again, these I mean, it's essentially with 1 point difference, it's almost tied at this point.
Yeah, next goal could potentially be the winner there. Finn's going to take that disc. Their team is down by 1 on Blast, and they have 40 seconds to make something beautiful happen here. Maddie passes to Finn. Finn finds way across there to Boop. Boop, juking, passing, finding Maddie down low. Into the bubble he goes. Maybe a dunk. Gets it to Finn. Finn will back that out to Boop. 24 seconds left on this one. Interception to Viatrex, but interception right back to Gecko. Gecko going to look towards that right shoulder, but a little bit too much strength on the pass. So Maddie's going to take that pass. Now 13 seconds. Taken there. Cleared out by Team Gravity. 8.
This is going to be an important 5 seconds on the clock. They're going to need to do something, or this round is going to go by just 1 point to Team Gravity, and in just by 1 point to Team Gravity, it will go. That whole game was back and forward. And in the end, considering that, you know, Team Gravity actually let in a 3-pointer, that was really, really close.
Very, very close.
You know, it's another interesting point to make, though, is that I mentioned before about Simon and Lewis's boosting. I'm seeing some incredible boosting stacks coming from Blast here as well. Finity has always been a fantastic booster. Matty's always been a great booster. And Boop and Gecko, they're boosting together really well as well. And I'm seeing right now, from what I've seen, they seem to be the best to compete with Team Gravity's stacks for this, which is why we're often seeing so many dispossessions happening over and over and over. I really don't know now how to call this next one. I'm always going to ask that the third round matters, because for me, there's nothing better than a best of 3 that ends up going to the third. Of course, in this instance, if it doesn't, that third is still going to matter because of that MMR. But now a part of me is going to sort of shift my cheering over, because I want to see that third one really matter.
Yeah, me as well, and we're about to get it started.
Cool. All right, so they're going to be off again. It's going to be a bit of a race. I don't remember who got it last time, but this time it does look like it was Gravity. The disc didn't quite manage to land in the hands of Team Gravity, though. A little slap down to Al Pacino by Vitrax gives them the early 2 points on the board, which means it will be the winning team from the last round starting it off on the board.
And starting it off in good fashion, Team Gravity. So far we can see, real quick look at the scoreboards. We'll have to check those between rounds, but 8 points for Simon and 5 Al Pacino over on Gravity. As this pass potentially gets intercepted, it will be, so Simon's going to take it. Lewis on his back. This is something we see quite a bit on this team as a pass comes out now to Lewis. Lewis is going to go down low, shooting that one on the goalkeeper. Team Gravity up 4.
Infinity had to kind of take on a pair of 2 there, and that is very difficult to do.
And I left the overlay up on stream because multitask. In any case, they still had a small window at least to view it from, so hey.
You have to bear with Palidore. He is doing a million things at once today.
$1,000,002!
And unfortunately, I didn't actually see how that one built up, but Al Pacino, I believe, just threw a 3-pointer straight in, and now they're up 7. This game is not going the same as that first one.
Yeah, that is quite the turnaround there compared to what we've seen earlier on, and now the pass is going to go out to, intercept actually to Lewis, but indeed, not quite the start that Team Blast wanted. It's going to float on through, and the boost coming in quickly from Team Gravity. Again, I can't say enough how quick that Simon-Lewis duo of a stack is. Just devastating on defense, and offense for that matter. They just get back like it's nothing.
Yeah, that is a huge strength of theirs for the team. And of course, they've been playing together for quite a while. You often see them in pubs practicing all that stuff early on, and that they were very much scouted together for that very reason. And right now, it is actually Simon looking for his partner in crime, Lewis, who's going to sneak his way over into a dangerous place, but saved by Finny. She's unable to get it away. I think it went on someone's head, but she will pizza flick that disc down court anyway, and it's an amazing clear. Unfortunately for her, it will be Team Gravity that gets its hand on the disc. Simon now trying to bait that stack away so he can find a bigger gap. He does manage to find one. It might be a dangerous bounce, actually, but not too dangerous as it floats back, bringing them up for another 2v1. Lewis is going to have to do something. It's an amazing save there by Gecko, actually. That was incredible stuff. Simon is now in possession of the disc as Team Gravity are building up again, and they're going to keep knocking on that door until they get through. And it will be Lewis that tries to now, and this time Matty will save it. And Finny is going to push it back. The saves right now from Blast are fantastic. It just keeps going and going. They're really sharing, but the goal looks like it's open, and eventually, if you knock on that door hard enough and you knock on that door long enough, you will get through, and it will be Viatrix getting through with 3 points, putting them up 10 in this one. And now it looks like Blast, despite that fantastic defense and the fantastic saving, they have got a hill.
You know, I might be super busy, but whoa, taken there by Finn. But I still heard the word doors in there somewhere. Now, going off. Going off into the other side of the floor with that 10-0 lead. Getting punched out is Lone Gecko. Gecko with some of those saves along with Finn earlier on. And we know what they're capable of at goal. We've seen it for multiple seasons, certainly. Trying to find their pass now. Maddie down low. A lot of close quarters passing going on, and beautifully executed at that. The last one they're just missing, though, but seems like they may recover. No, getting stunned. Viatrix is going to get the clear. So coming through with a recollection on the disc. Maybe another open goal. Going down low. A lot of passes here. So they actually do not capitalize on that open goal. It was a 4v0.
Going to be Boop from Blast clearing the disc now. Lewis will be the one to get hold of it. He's not able to clear it through the tunnel as he went for. Nice little punch there on Viatrix means that he's not able to continue his stack. And it is going to be a bit of a race right now to get to that disc. Someone is probably going to need to get goal, but Matty punching out the problem there and getting the clear off means that it could be some points on the board if their stack is their first. But of course, the Gravity stack, Simon and Lewis are champions at what they do, and they look like they're going to be there first. Disc is free again. It's going to be one of those wonderful races as we've seen before, and it just seems to be a lot of this happening right now. A lot of my stack versus your stack, and it can be a problem. That shot not quite working out for them right now, but again, Gravity is still wanting to knock on that door. It's a nice, safe back pass back to Gecko, returns it back to Finn, and unfortunately, clipping some Geo there means that the disc is now still a bit of a problem for them, as Simon from Team Gravity is now looking to start the process of building as he passes out up to Al Pacino. I think hitting some Geo on the way down, and this knocking on that door is starting again, and Simon will put that away eventually, meaning they're now 12-0. And this has not been Blast's round. It really hasn't. And I think very early on, they conceded some goals, and that was difficult, because when you lose that many goals that early on, it can be really mentally challenging to climb over that hill after.
Yeah, and Simon there for Team Gravity, the game high, 10 points. Getting the job done on his team for sure. But 12-0 and 4:30 left. It's a big hill to overcome. Can they get it done? Yet to be determined. We will see. That is still enough time, but certainly they got to get on action here. And to the up top, back to Finn, back to the backboard. But no, it will float on out now. Boop's going to take that over, find another backboard shot. Almost goes in, but saved there by Al Pacino, so Al Pacino gets the clear. A boost coming through. It's taken first by Al Pacino and reining it in again, so 3 more points. Up to 15 now.
I can feel the frustration there, actually, because it was a pristine backboard fast shot from Boop there. But there were so many people in goal that Al Pacino was able to just bounce backwards and just save that one. But as far as goalkeeping is concerned, that one is pretty much as hard as it comes for 3-point backboards. It will be Gravity that are clearing the disc into a dangerous zone right now, and it will be Simon that's going to put some points on the board, just waiting a little bit there to do it.
Just using the clock, certainly on their side, and no rush to score more than they have to. Although, there is a point differential thing applying to the MMR, of course, but nonetheless, those kind of things can also definitely have an effect just on the mentality of the other team when they're already down.
Absolutely. And this is one of those games where the score does not tell the story. It really doesn't. The first game told the story quite well, but this one, not so much. There's been, a lot of early goals happening, a lot of open shots. I think Simon trying to put away another 3 from the tunnel. This one will not work out for them. Gecko and Boop have got themselves a stack, and they've got themselves a clear. Gecko does look like he is through, but there are other people in the arena that he has to contend with, and it will be Simon who gets his clear off from Team Gravity right now.
Now a quick
and
boost
it will be
again.
Al Pacino who puts it away for another 2.
Yeah, that turned really ugly fast. Certainly, and like you said, it doesn't tell the story of the entirety of the game, because that first one, it was 13-12. But more lopsided this time.
It's peculiar, but this does happen. I mean, at the end of the day, that first game was exactly how I would expect these games to go. I think that was a good indicator of both the teams of these, both the skills of these teams. This one has just been a bit of a flop in regards to Blast. But I mean, just as you saw from that first round, that's a much more accurate representation of these two giants. These two titans kind of going at it. But we know we have that third match, and they can at least go back and now mentally reset for that, even though they've technically lost the actual match.
Yeah, and so at this point, the teams is a technical mercy, so the teams would need to restart, preferably, but we've had this happen a couple times so far. Teams not aware of the mercy rule.
Yeah, it's a new format, so they may not be aware, or they might just want to just play it for the sake of momentum. It's not a big deal if they want to do that. We're not overly bothered. Or they could have just forgotten. Either way, it's not really a problem. They have another fresh match to play in a minute, and those points still do matter.
That they do, so it will be on the scoreboard as far as the results are concerned, a 20-0 victory. And the 3 points coming from Blast. But nonetheless, momentum is definitely a thing, and maybe seeing the disc go through the goal in that case can just give them a little bit of that added momentum that they would need going into round 3, because MMR is still gonna play a factor when it comes to the score differentials, and that first game was close. So if they have a strong third match on Blast, it could still be a very good thing for their team on the ladder.
Indeed. So Team Gravity right now just sort of slowing everything down, kind of keeping it relaxed. They don't really need to score, so they can just kind of wait this timer down and just kind of stay warm for the next round and just finish it out. But that will be a 2 more on the board for Viatrex, and I believe that they are pretty much ready for this next one. And I've said so many times, it just has to be that mental reset now, because although this third one doesn't determine the winner, this third one will make a difference in regards to the actual game itself.
Right. Well, that will be the end of that round indeed then. And score 24-3, although officially 20-0.
So I think Gecko just needs to restart. He's probably having some technical issues, so he'll probably be joining in a second.
All right.
And then we can get cracking on that third round. So this does happen a lot. I've seen it many times, and I've been in the team that's done it, and I've been in the team that that's had it happen to them. And it's quite simple that sometimes just nothing's working as it should, right? But also you need to remember that these teams they've had scrims, but these combinations are completely new, and playing in this setting is again, very, very new. So what you obviously have right now is a lot of trial and error, and I see this at the beginning of almost every season. With the exception of season 1, I think almost always there is a form factor, and that form factor changes throughout the season. So you'll often see one team will be form factor, they'll be right at the top, okay, and then underneath that, it will reverse at other points, and that is kind of how this game works. But yeah, just a reminder, just to the chat, at the end of the day, these teams are playing, and let's be kind, let's be fair, because they're allowing us to watch and cast and enjoy it, so we should be supportive of that. And it will be Al Pacino now putting 3 points on the board early on for Blast, for Team Gravity, and I think this is Blast's chance to try and undo some of the damage from that last round, because I absolutely know these guys and I absolutely know that team, and that wasn't their potential at all.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a long game, long set of matches, and a long season for that matter, and preseason at that. So this is the time to have matches like this, because they are definitely things that can be good learning experiences, if nothing else, and definitely not indicative of any of the overall talent of Blast. Both these teams just really strong, and they've been that way for multiple seasons individually and their own teams. Now coming in for that, oop, is Lewis. Went up and under.
Yeah, Gecko, Finn, Boop, and May are some of the strongest players in Europe, and have been for a while. Finity's never really had that much chance to showcase her ability, but she definitely has shown us, most of us in EU, just the finesse and style and skill that she has. She can be a very intelligent player, like right there and then. She's not just going to throw it for the sake of it. She's waiting until she's opened the gap up. And Boop as well, he's got what I would consider game smarts, all right? Or I think he calls it game sense when he refers to other people, but and it's just generally, it's what a lot of people in sports have. And right now it does look like the disc is in a dangerous area for Blast, as Lewis is going to start the build-up of their attack. Simon's on the shield, and Finity stresses him out and does the job well. Matty getting the clear away, so that job's done also. And now it does look like Firetrax with a fast stack is going to be able to send Al Pacino over, but it's going to be Gecko that intercepts that clear, and now they are on the attack, and this is their chance to get some points. Boop in a good place on the shield. The pass a little bit low, but a nice backboard from him means that they will be pushing up now.
Absolutely. So 3-point game. And that's the position you want to be here in this round 3 if you're Blast. Certainly, if you can keep this one competitive, it will pay dividends. So rolling out, Team Gravity taking that is Viatrex. Viatrex looking left side. Viatrex getting stunned in the back line. Now this shot actually almost going through that off that bounce, and now taken instead by Lone Gecko. Gecko's going to look over for Boop. Boop trying to get the clear, unable to do so. Viatrex is there at mid. Now gets it to Simon. Simon, nice save though from Finn. Getting that disc off the boost with Gecko.
This could be free now, as it is a bit of a fight going on, but it's also a bit of a stack. Disc is free. It will be Lewis that manages to get to it first, though. Those boost pairs doing their job. Firetrex now going to probably clear it for his team, hoping the stack is still alive so that they can get there. Well, Disc floating, very dangerous to goal then, and it will be Simon that does a little duck to get it away, to put it 2 points on the board, putting them up 7-2.
And doing a little dance for us on the stream. Very nice, Simon, with the moves.
Yes, Simon's very, he's a bit of a showboat. He likes to juke, he likes to dance, he's a young lad. He likes to enjoy himself, put it that way. Boop seeing an opportunity for a long shot, but the stack decided to realign themselves in front of the goal, which is a shame because that one was on target. And now it's going to be Vitrax that's going to try and do the same, and it is a good shot as well, but Finity will deny that again and go for the clear. And now it needs to be a stack from the Team Blast. And look at that little juggle going on then. Good
Love
stuff.
that.
You see, he had an opportunity for a long shot, but instead they went for the safe. They threw it in front, juggled quickly, got behind it, and put it away. And it's really interesting to see that in 4v4, this juggling is happening more and more than I ever saw it, even in a 3v3.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing really like to see. Just that extra added team play and the game smarts. You mentioned these players. Finn, Boop, they have a lot of that sense, on defense, but it translates into the offense as well. And now coming in for the disc is the nice shield there. So Finn will get that disc and try and find a pass, but no, instead Al Pacino into the goal, and that's a 3-point shot, so 10-4. Team Gravity getting it done.
So Al Pacino putting more points on the board for his team right now, and it will be, of course, Blast with the QB, as they are going to try and get these scores to be tighter and closer like that first round. That one being intercepted by that stack and then reached again. Viatrax trying to get rid of it quickly as he didn't have much time. It will be Finn that holds it, but Simon will punch her and float the disc away and do a little ballerina spin at the same time for 3 more points on the board. I think Finity held on to that for a microsecond too long, and in 4v4 everything seems like a microsecond too long. We're all tuned to the timings of 3v3. Everyone's getting surprised.
Pace is so much faster. You're totally right on that one. It is the beauty of 4v4, but also the danger. And dangerous it can be, as we have seen time and time again in some of these early matchups. You need to keep up pace, and yeah, let me tell you, even I have a hard time sometimes. It just gets so scrambled and hot playing these long games with such great competition. But in the meantime, Simon will take that disc. 13-4 lead for his team. And certainly Simon enjoying himself so far in the match with those dances and things you mentioned. But, you know, he's kind of earned it with his play today, scoring in bunches.
Yeah, he is a top scorer for his team. Lewis, nice little pass back there. Al Pacino finding Vire on the pillar. It's not a great pass from Vire, unfortunately, so Lewis is not quite able to get it. Simon will collect it to bring that build up again. And Vire passing behind the goal to the front, which is so difficult for a goalkeeper to keep their eye on. And
Right.
Al Pacino will put that one away to finish that off.
And getting that done in under 4 minutes to go. So after the first close game, it's 2 back-to-back ones where Team Gravity has just caught some fire. And stealing that disc actually is going to be Viatrax. He's going to look for that shot a little bit too low, but still taken right back. They're going to back it out for a 3-pointer, and it will be Simon again.
So another 3 on the board to Team Gravity, and you know, this game just hasn't been Blasts at all. I mean, but the silver lining to this is the first round is very much the Blast that I know. That is the Blast we're going to see more of. You know, it's almost like it's a little teaser trailer as to what this team are capable of. And, you know, they're not demonstrating it in full waves now, and it's very difficult to do that when you've had to come back from a loss like this. But we have seen the potential, and a little bit of a fight on goal there means that Team Gravity will get 2 more onto the board.
Yeah, Gecko was able to get the initial save, but just re-grabbing it was Al Pacino there. So good hands by both players, but it will result in the additional 2 points for Gravity. Launching out is going to be nobody. And into the goal, it's Via.
I think there was a bit of a miscommunication there with the QB, and again, that happens a lot with these early on strategies because you're trying to figure out, as I mentioned in the show match, who's going where. And when there's 4 of you, it's so easy to accidentally grab onto one person and then go through the disc, and it just gets left behind. It's part of the process of learning 4v4 instead. It's happening more than it used to, anyway.
Yeah, now the stack at the mid, Lewis and Simon, ever dangerous. But clear goes bottom into the hands, Al Pacino. Al Pacino's going to go mid. There's a stack looming there as well, though. It's going to be Finn getting knocked out. Simon's going to grab that and head into the tunnel area as his teammates take position around the arena for the passes, the back passes. Al Pacino is going to take that disc as he gets stunned, finding Simon over on the other side. Simon's going to back it towards mid. There is a defender under him. Manages to headbutt it, I think, out of the hands. And now tap pass to Boop. So Boop is going to line up. A bounce shot. He loves these. Will it go in? It is close, but no cigar. Lewis will take that. Now it's going to be right back.
So the disc is going to be free right now. Pacino is trying to get hold of the disc, but he gets punched out. There's still some fight in Blast yet. Finn going for the clear down. It's not able to be quite caught, but it will be Boop, who takes the shot. It's almost in. This is going to be brought back now. I think it was a back pass there from Fire, but Boop will collect it instead and throw that in.
Yeah, it just kind of flew in there, going off to the side and slung it. And it was true for the 2.
Indeed.
And as this one winds down to a close, you just see that dominant performance from Al Pacino and Simon, 23 and 20 points respectively. As this disc goes up into the blast side of the floor, taken there by Maddie, but gets knocked loose. So instead, Simon's going to take that one and back it out again, looking for that back pass and perhaps going to wind down the clock. Then again, perhaps not. On the approach, trying to get there. Oh, going for a bit of a stylish play, and they will get that as the alley-oop goes through for Lewis and Simon.
So I believe that they're pretty much done now. As I said, the first round, that is the true tale of what we've got coming from Blast. And I think after that, they lost some mental momentum there. And it just wasn't the rounds for them after that, unfortunately. But, you know, this happens. It's happened to me. It'll happen to everyone at some point.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
it's the nature of the game, regrettably. But, again, very good games, especially that first round. It was enjoyable to watch. Again, we're seeing a lot of these stacks right now. I really did think that with 4v4, sometimes there would be less of that happening. But it's not the case at all. And if anything, I'm seeing more of it happening now.
Right. And, well, you just got to live to fight another day for these teams. That's all. That's basically the best thing I can say because, truth of the matter, again, it's a long season. And like you mentioned exactly, these kind of games will happen from time to time. And it is nothing to be too worried about because, again, preseason and, you know, just the talent level is so high. Can't accentuate that enough. We saw in the show match, I mean, a lot of these guys on these teams were featured there. And just doing so much work. The speed is one of the things I, again, am so impressed with. Fast as ever is Europe at the boosting, at the stacking. And the passing as well. Gotta love that.
Yeah, it was, you know, like I said, the main thing I saw today was the tale of the speeds. Like the stacks are, people are juggling, they're throwing the disc forward, they're throwing the disc back. It's, you know, it was impressive stuff from both sides. I think in the end, it was Blast that had an open goal way more. And you know, in those second rounds, Gravity just punished them for it, simple as that. But, you know, this is the learning process of it. And there's also other things, you know, these guys are all in closed comms, they're all doing their own thing. It's impossible to know what's really going on behind the closed door. There you go, another one for you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I've been TutorialBot. I don't know why people say that because I'm still TutorialBot. It seems silly to put it like in the past tense, but thanks very much for doing all the cam work and stuff, Palidore. I know how difficult that is to do and cast at the same time. And you did a fantastic job as always. And
yeah, on that note, if anyone out there, especially in the European region, who wants to do some camera work or casting or anything else, you know, we are community driven and always looking for some aids. And I am, as much as I'm happy to do the casting and casting and commentary and camera work and whatever else I have to do as far as putting on my hats, I would love to be able to just, you know, do this collectively with the community, have a big old team, and cast as many matches as possible. That is my main goal. Feature this community as much as possible.
That's correct. And it's not just casting that's required. Like, doing the camera work is massive. And it really does help because it is so hard to concentrate on just doing the camera work, doing the camera work and casting. I've done the camera work for, you know, live games at LANs and stuff. And that alone has taken the full capacity of my concentration. So to be able to pay attention and cast at the same time, it's simply not within my abilities to do it. Of course, Palidore, you're a man of many skills, so it doesn't surprise me you're able to. But yeah, if there is anyone that's interested in doing that, it would be fantastic. And you know, if you haven't done it before, don't worry about it. There are people that can teach you and show you and get you started. And same for casting as well. You know, if you haven't done casting before, it might not be for you, it might be, but give it a go. You can jump into a call with some people that have done it before, cast some of the spectated matches for the public games, you know, kind of practice it. Plenty of stuff you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that being said,
That being
I'm
said,
bouncing.
all right. Well, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem. Peace.
Peace to him.
And
All
I'll
right.
see you
For everyone else sticking around here, we're going to follow Team Gravity into their next match beginning momentarily. Going to follow them there. But before then, we're going to cut off this cast just briefly, roll the credits. We like to be able to wind down, each match into a separate video with the intro and the credits. Just makes for nice viewing later if teams want to watch their VODs individually so they don't have to sift through the video. So we will be back in just a little bit.